Hello again, Dick Boucher, Sandy Hill Locomotive Works. Welcome to my shop, welcome to my channel. We've got some finishing work to do on the wheels for the 1.5" scale LaFrance steam fire pumper that I've been working on. I got a number of holes to put in the rim and on the center hub to put the brass escutcheon pins in. So let's get right to it. Okay, here we are with the front wheel. This is the little drill jig I made up to do the rear wheels. It fits over the spokes right here, and the flat lands on the flat here. And the thing is, the front wheel spokes are a little thinner than the rear wheel spokes. So I filled in this area with JB Weld, and then filed it out and ground it out with the Dremel tool, and it's almost like bedding a rifle barrel into a wooden stock. I've got it to fit very nicely in here. So then the next problem I had is I've got this pile of small vice jaws, cube, small gauge blocks, and the thing still rocks a little bit, which means I don't have a good bearing surface here. So I was thinking, what in the world am I going to do? And I kept messing around with this, and I spent quite a bit of time at it. But then I remembered like Adam Booth and Tubal Cain, I like to go to yard sales. Not as much anymore. I've kind of figured I've got enough stuff. But I did find this beautiful unit, the Lab Jack, at a yard sale or a flea market or someplace. And I put it in here. And, oh, all right, further back. And I get it just the right height so the wheel sets good. Put my little drill jig on. Turn the drill press on. Spot the 2 holes. Let's see, this isn't working out good for the camera at all, is it? Spot the 2 holes. Spot the 2 holes, put a little lube on it. Peck drill my way down through it. A lot of little chips. The eyeballs are getting pretty old. So all I gotta do is sit here for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and drill the rest of the way through. And then the next feature I gotta do is I gotta drill holes in here for a little bit larger escutcheon pin. I think I'm gonna do that in the CNC machine. So till we get to there, hang in there. little word on the setup here, which is a lot of the trick with working with these castings on these models. At the very base here, I've got two inside angle plates that I made when I was a trainee, toolmaker training school. A fella brought in the castings and had them for sale. I bought two, roughed them in on a shaper. I love working on a shaper. I had to give mine up to make space for the CNC machine to come in, but my son Michael has that shaper, so it's still in good hands. Anyhow, the inside angle blocks, there'll be more on those later as how useful they are. Two parallels, a couple small parallels, strap set, clamp the work down. Yeah, it might have been just as easy to take the vise off and not go through this whole tower thing, but then I got to put the vise back on. This way here, as soon as I'm done, undo the bolts, and off come the wheel, and the vise is still in there and still square. So that's some of the setup that I've used for this particular operation. This is a Starrett C604RE 6-inch scale. And it's a really great little tool because it has these graduations on the end of the scale. And they're very, very handy at times. And I'm going to show you how I use them. All right, when you're indicating something in, the closer you can come to the center of the hole before you actually put the indicator on, the better off you are. So using those little end scales, I measure, it's 1/8 of an inch, it's 1/8 of an inch, it's 1/8 back there, and it's 1/8 on this side. So using the center drill, just casually put in the drill chuck, I'm close to the center of the hole at this point. Talk about Starrett. It's so small I can't read it. 711, Starrett, the last word indicator. I think that scale I bought when I was an apprentice in 1962 or 3, and this Starrett indicator comes from about the same time. So put it in, zero it. You probably can't see this. I got to learn to bring all my stuff with me when I take this. I move my famous mirror to see what's going on around me. Rotate the dial around, I'd set it for 0. And on the other side it's just about 0. On this side, it's 30 thousandths out, so we'll bring it up to the 0. Now mind you, I've got a number of years experience, but by using the scaling, measuring where the center of this part was, that's how quickly I was able to zero this this indicate in this hole in the middle of the wheel here. This is my shooting star readout. Again, no compensation from this company at all. Just I've got 3 of them down here in the shop right now, I think, and they've worked very good for me. So we're on the 0. The first thing we'll do is we'll zero out and clear the X and the Y. We'll hit the menu. It comes up. It says bolt circle. Right arrow. Center X, center Y. The radius. The radius I'm doing on this wheel is 742.7420. Right arrow. Number of holes, 9. I'm going to put in 9 holes. Right arrow. Angle of the hole, 0. And it comes up the first move I've got to make to wind up where I want to be on the wheel. I think in an earlier video I said I might write up a CNC program, and you know, you stop and think for a while and say, wait a minute, the shooting star is going to be much easier to do. So I'll run you down and watch you. Each time I push the right arrow again, I'll get 2 new numbers in the X and the Y, and all I do is go to those numbers and pop the hole in. So, with the old saying in mind, measure twice, cut once, I'll go around with the center drill and spot all the locations of the hole. Bring this down to 0. And touch the center drill just enough to make a mark for the real drill to follow. Press the right arrow, and 0 the Y. And 0 the X. Right arrow, 0 the X, zero the Y, the X, 0 the Y. Right arrow, 0 the Y. Right arrow, 0 the X. Come on. 0 the Y. Arrow, 0X. Zero Y. And one last time. 0X. 0 to Y. And then we bring it back to the starting point. And there we have laying out the bolt circle on the wheel. I don't know if the light is bothering the angle of the camera here, but I'll show it to you on the bench when it's done. So what I'll do now is I'll go back around with the drill. And it's the very same procedure. I'm at 0, 0 on the readout, and I'm on hole 1, so I'm all set there. Well, there you have it. The machining is done on the wheels. They're not finished. They've still got a lot of work to do before they've got their final paint on them. But that'll be future videos. In the meantime, I've got plenty else to do on the fire engine. So until we get another video out here, subscribe if you're interested in seeing what's going on. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, and in the meantime, so long.